If you are tired of constantly losing your focus whenever you're trying to study and just want to learn the secrets to infinite study focus no matter what, then you've come to the right spot. Now, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm some student who loves to study, because honestly, it sucks sometimes. But today, I'll be sharing a couple of tricks that I've used that have allowed me to do my work every single day, even if I don't really want to. So if you're ready to elevate your study focus to the next level, let's get started. Now, the first tip is to use the power of public pressure. Now, for most students, if they don't have someone monitoring their work, they're probably going to be very tempted to jump on their phone because there's literally nobody telling them not to. That's why, contrary to what school tells you, I want you to get peer pressured. What this means is that I want you to go out and do your work in a public space, whether that be a library, a cafe, or your school, or literally whatever place you study in. And I just know that you're going to want to sit in that lonely corner where no one can see you, but what you really need to do is to sit in a place where anyone can see what you're doing. This way, if you start scrolling on TikTok or watching YouTube videos, literally everybody can see you, so you're going to start feeling bad about procrastinating and eventually focus back on your work. But even if you don't want to leave the house, you can try talking to a family member to help you focus and make them keep you accountable in case you start doing some random garbage. Either way, having an actual person keeping your studying in check will help you focus instantaneously because you'll have a person there to get on your case if you start goofing off. So in the end, peer pressure may not even be that bad after all. Yep, I am definitely getting canceled for that. The second tip is to study like you brush your teeth. Now, assuming you're not gross, you probably have the routine of brushing your teeth every single morning after you wake up. But when you wake up, do you ever actually think, do I really want to brush my teeth today? The answer is probably not. But it's because you've made it a habit of brushing your teeth that you've learned to do it effectively every day. Now, this is exactly how I want you to approach your studying. If you do your studying at a specific time or after a certain event every single day, then your focus will increase exponentially, because your mind will automatically switch to that studying mode during that period. And your mind will no longer think, well, do I really want to study? Rather, your mind will think, well, I just have to study because it's part of my schedule. And soon you'll become a studying machine that's not driven by motivation, but by discipline, which is how the top students study every single day. The third tip is to time yourself to stay on track. But timers are actually one of the best ways to boost your study focus immediately, because if you can internalize in your mind that you just have to work for a certain amount of time and then you'll get a break, you'll focus on your work for much longer than if you just try to study on a whim without knowing exactly when you get to stop. Now, while there are a lot of different timer techniques, the one I personally use is my own rendition of the Pomodoro timer. For those of you who don't know, the Pomodoro technique is essentially when you work for 25 minutes and then you give yourself a 5-minute break. But I personally find that when I have a timer, I can work for way longer than that and get a lot more work done. So my Pomodoros are typically 35 to 45 minutes with 5-minute breaks in between. And I would encourage you to set longer times as well, since it'll be way easier to get into that flow state and absolutely zip through your work and studying at light speed. Now, I like to use the Marinara Pomodoro Chrome extension, but you can easily just use your phone or a physical timer, like this absolutely adorable tomato timer, which I'll link in the description if you want to check it out. And fun fact, Pomodoro is actually Italian for tomato. The more you know. The fourth tip is to listen to music that's good, but not too good. Now, I am all for using music during your study sessions, as I find it super useful for focusing. But if you're not careful, music can actually do the opposite and ruin your study focus. While it may sound super fun to listen to your favorite pop songs as you study, this might not be the best idea, since your brain will focus more on the music and less on the work you need to do. The right kind of music has to be the perfect blend of both engaging yet monotonous, which sounds kind of counterintuitive, but it actually makes a lot of sense. If you've ever listened to something like lo-fi beats, you'll notice that the music itself is very fun to listen to, but the slow beat in the background actually makes the music quite predictable. Because of this, using something like ambient noise or lo-fi beats is a great choice for studying, because it stimulates your brain, but the predictability prevents your brain from becoming overstimulated. Using noise-canceling headphones can also help you to block out any distractions like phone notifications to help keep you on track. And in combination with subtle music going on in the background, you will become extremely focused. The last tip I want to give you is to find your study Ikigai. Now, Ikigai is a Japanese concept that means reason to live. And so to improve your study focus, I want you to find your study Ikigai, or your reason to study. Ask yourself, what are your true intentions for studying and what truly motivates you to get those straight A's? Maybe you want to get good grades so you can get a good job in the future. Or maybe your parents worked really hard to put you in your current position and you want to make them proud. Or maybe you just love that feeling of getting 100% on an exam that you studied really hard for. For me, my motivation is fully understanding the material so that I can share the information with others if needed, which probably makes a lot of sense because I make YouTube videos. But if you are struggling to study, just remember your study Ikigai and think about how much effort you're actually willing to put in to achieve that final goal. And if you start to get distracted and get the urge to go on your phone, just take deep breaths and reorient yourself towards this goal. After finding my study Ikigai, I found it way easier to stay focused on my tasks because I know it's ultimately going to allow me to help others in the process. So find your reason to study and your ability to focus will become nearly effortless. Now I hope you found these tips helpful and will use them to force yourself to study no matter the circumstance. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. But thank you so much for watching. Go out and enhance your study focus, and I'll see you in the next one.